Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show that we are discussing today and want to avoid spoilers, stop right there. Go binge and come on back. If you have or don't mind spoilers, sit back with your favorite drink and enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Dramas with your host, Michael.
And Nadia over there. Welcome back.
Hi.
We were late on running this one as well. Just like the last few weeks now.
They wouldn't know if we didn't
granted,
know.
yeah, I know, right? But like, granted, it was, we did finish, the show finished this week.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
We were just lazy yesterday.
I wouldn't say lazy. Procrastination gets the better of us, right?
Procrastination nation.
Yeah, so welcome back.
Woohoo!
But I forgot to do it last week, but like, happy birthday to the Pisces and the Aries of this month.
In our families.
Everywhere. You know, my parents' birthdays were one after the other. Our niece's birthdays.
Brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law's birthday, yes, that's right.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, it's Friday, tomorrow.
Yes, it's
today,
tomorrow when this airs.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to our biggest sponsor, Cardi. Our only
right.
sponsor. Happy birthday.
This past Monday. They're all crazy.
Yeah, all the Pisces, all the dreamers. All the dreamers. There's a lot of Pisces, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
It's to cool us off.
I guess so.
Because we're all fire.
Yeah, you'd think so, but then, like, I always fought my dad all the time, so I don't know.
But your dad's just your dad.
Yeah, okay.
It's a different
yeah,
story.
Exactly.
Well.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah.
We are, for the most part.
Yeah, living life.
Living life. Working, day jobs, and doing this, doing other things. Some Nadia's getting back into her beading.
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. What's in the news today? No. The only thing I like looking at the news is
sports.
Soccer. Yeah, and the Korean Mars rovers.
Well, this week on our episode, we're
talking about L.U.C.A.
L.U.C.A.
The beginning. And actually, you know what? Let me bring up what is the acronym to L.U.C.A.
Oh, they said it in the show.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was, but let me just put this out there right now. I really hope there's a season 2. And I hope, how are the ratings?
I actually didn't look at it. So that I was actually going to mention that. I haven't looked at the ratings. This is one of the shows where I haven't looked at the ratings. I didn't look at the reviews. I didn't look at anything. All I know is that when they announced it, it was with Rae-Won and Da-Hee, and I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta watch the show. And it's action, yeah. It actually wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there was like a bunch of twists, and it kind of took a different turn at one point.
Yeah.
But like that's all I saw was like the first poster, the announcement. After that, I didn't read anything. And
do you think that was better though?
I think so. I prefer not seeing that. Like even like when there's previews at the end of an episode, even if I've watched the show 1,000,010 times, I still stop.
He's watched What's Wrong with Secretary Kim 1,010,000 times.
And I still won't watch.
And he will still won't watch them.
The preview to the next episode. I still won't do
funny.
It. Yeah, I don't know. It was a little better. I don't like, for one, I don't like reviews in general.
No, so, I just am kind of curious about like the viewership and if it is going to get a season 2.
I would think so. Like I felt like I was actually thinking about this today. I feel like this might be like a start of a franchise, almost like a franchise. You know, franchise series like they do in like North America.
Yeah.
I feel like they could branch off and do that without having to keep the main characters. You know what I mean? And like because it's
So then it
the
would be
beginning,
like,
right? So it's like it's like the origin story to like Superman, right? So you talk about like
Yeah.
Krypton, whatever, and then all of a sudden he's on Earth, and then he sees
well,
like him
essentially
growing
they
up.
killed all the main, like the
Right.
main and second. Well, they didn't kill the main characters from what we know. Technically,
Yeah.
like we don't know what happened to her.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like
I
all the secondary main characters were killed. Even the good cop. Like, I was so sad. What's his name? I don't remember his name.
Oh
The
yeah,
one that babysat
yeah,
her
yeah,
baby.
yeah. I don't. Yo, he's he can't be. Like you can't just
They
do
obviously
that.
killed him.
You can't do that. I know.
Well, apparently they can.
It's rude. It's rude.
But it makes it like more shocking
mm.
because if the people are just gonna live all the time and they like survive everything, like she survived 25 friggin' head hits.
She for sure like had 20 concussions, major
At
concussions.
least.
The fact that she was still walking at one point was really
Yeah.
surprising. That's not as bad as when the what was his name? Yisan? The guy with the black arm? His like the fact that he got his ass kicked how many times? And okay, we're not gonna talk about. We'll get into episode 11 after because that was.
Did we want to do a quick synopsis before we get into the ranting?
So this is pretty much a comic book show. What it was. It looked like it was based on a comic book.
Was it?
I don't think it was. It doesn't look like it. I don't think it is. Maybe it was. Maybe they whatever. But yeah, they pretty much main character is a genetic creation.
Mm-hmm.
So they took human sperm and egg, and then they mixed it with like immortal jellyfish,
blah, blah, blah.
Electric eel, and like a few other things, a few other animals that are like that use electricity and that have healing capabilities.
Yeah.
And they mixed it up and they created accidentally, pretty much, like they said it accidentally, they succeeded, like every other thing, right? In creating this kid, okay, Zio. So
Cough.
and pretty much it's this organization, this cult organization that's helped by the what do you call it?
Police and higher ups.
Well, they run the police, but it's the higher ups. Oh my god, what do they call in Korea? It's national security.
Oh, okay. NIS.
Yeah.
NIS.
The NIS. Thank you. National Intelligence Services. That's it. Thank you. And it shows, like the show was showing pretty much what they could pretty much do in real life, right?
How corrupt everything essentially
yeah, pretty
is.
much. So it's this organization trying to get him back. You know, dead or alive, they want his body. They want to figure out how they succeeded, and they want to use his genetic makeup to create more. That's when he meets the detective, played by Da-Hee.
Yeah.
Da-Hee, sorry. And Da-Hee is actually a different actress, sorry. And so she ends up thinking that her parents were murdered by him, but essentially it wasn't.
No.
Because everything that she was given was all made up, every single thing. And the fact that at one point they tried to convince her again that he killed her parents, and she believed it for a bit, which didn't make any sense because she knew everything was made up, and she still wanted to believe that he killed.
She wanted an answer, right?
I get it. Honestly, I get it. But like everything's made up. You know everything that they're telling you is made up, and you're still like, I need this answer, and I'm gonna believe these people who are making shit up.
Yeah.
At that point, I would have been like, yo, did they kill my parents? Because that would make more sense at this point, right? But then again, she didn't know anything about her parents.
Yeah.
Because she was so young when they died.
Exactly.
And everything that she would find were all lies. Yeah, so he meets her, and then they eventually team up to figure out what the hell's happening, right? And so he lost weight for this show. I swear he lost weight for this show.
Probably.
Because he was skinny. And he was, like, not that skinny in the last movie.
Well, he was, like, what, your build, kind of? Like...
No, he was stocky. Like, not stocky. He was bigger than, like, he was more ripped than I was.
Oh, okay.
Like, remember, we watched him in that movie, actually, where he was an office worker, and then I think he was divorced or getting divorced or got divorced, and all he was like living in shit. Like he would just be drinking all the time, blacks out.
Oh yeah.
And then what's his name? Ken Young, Funny Man, was in it.
Okay.
As his
Yeah.
And the chick, new chick, that came to work.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like pretty much calling her a hoe.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was like, yo, you guys are playing rude. Anyways, he was bigger in there.
Yeah.
Much bigger.
Well, that's what actors sign up for.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, man, he was skinny. Yeah, so the basis of the show is kind of comic booky.
Yeah.
Super, they mix the sci-fi fantasy because like, there's a lot of science too, but like not in-depth science. Nothing that you
very
can actually...
surfacey.
Yeah. Very, 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 very.
I feel like to be able to talk about it more, they'd have to do so much research.
Yeah, it would have been really cool. You know what I mean? I feel like if they do the next like 2-3 seasons in like different stages of this universe, you would probably see a lot more.
Yeah.
But I feel like this was like an introduction to a new kind of universe, like a new world, and I feel like they can do so much with it.
I guess we have to wait and see.
Yeah, I guess so. Granted, it was only 12 episodes, which kind of sucked, and I feel like maybe that's why episode 11 was absolute garbage. Yeah, that's right. Episode 11 was absolute trash. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but it was absolute trash. Episode 12 was fine. Granted, the beginning of it, there was like a scene that was not necessary, and they could have just left it in. Yeah. They could have just done it in episode 11, but they decided to move it over to episode 12, I guess, for runtime. But fuck.
They could have filled it up with something else.
They could have removed an unnecessary scene from fucking episode 11. It was, yeah. Like, the show was great.
The show was amazing, but that one episode was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
But other than that...
Yeah, it's a great show, and I think maybe that's why episode 11 was shit, because they rushed everything. I feel like they kind of rushed it a bit.
But if there's going to be another season, why rush it? Couldn't they just leave it a huge
cliffhanger? I think because, like...
Or they just need to kill off everyone.
Well, it depends on the studio, too. The studio's like, yo, cut it down.
Yeah.
Gotta cut it down. Yeah, so I think that's why they kill off everybody, too. It was like, they're getting rid of...
It's like Game of Thrones. Kill all the main characters and move on.
No. If that was the case, Zio would have been dead. Gu-Reum would have been dead. Friggin' everybody would have been dead.
Anyway, I guess that last.
And then you know who would have been the main character? The main character would have been friggin' the pharmacist in one of the friggin' episodes. That's what would have been the main character. That's a Game of Thrones show for you.
Well, Game of Thrones people are gonna hate you.
I don't care. I can't. That's the show I cannot do.
Oh, you're funny.
Oh man. Alright, so the show is. It's hard. It's a lot. It reminds me a lot of X-Men. So X-Men, they're mutants, right? And they're born, and that's where I think that kind of like. If the next season they would like fast forward years, she'll see like all the babies growing up. But I feel like it was kind of like X-Men, where you have the character being alienated a lot. Yeah. Right. Feeling he's like they're different, and they can't fit in. Yeah. And no one's accepting them because they're different. Right. Yeah. And that's the same thing with mutants. Yeah.
Same thing as everyone.
Same thing as everybody. You know what I mean? Like that was, and like mutants were pretty much to show the racism in the world, right? And it's, you know what I mean? That's what it like reminded me of, and that's what it is. It's like you have someone who feels different, who is different, who all just wants to fit in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it makes you think, okay, what is it to be human, right? And that was like a lot of the episode, of the show, was.
I just want to be normal.
He just wants to be.
Or like as normal as one can be.
Yeah, exactly. He just wants to be himself, and he wants to fit in with humans, because technically he's part human.
Yeah.
Right? But it goes to show you that he was more human up until the end of the show. He was more human than the people going after him, right?
Yeah.
Like, all these people will kill, lie, steal, manipulate, brainwash, but he's the monster just because he's not fully human.
But, like,
right?
No one really ever called him a monster except for himself, and...
No, everybody else was. Everybody else would call him a monster. Yeah, even the nun.
Oh.
Even the nun was yelling, saying he's a demon.
Oh, no, I meant, like, older, sorry. Like, I meant older. Like, once he became older, like, no one really knew he had powers, right? So no one really...
because he kept staying in hiding, right?
But you'd think, like, if this child had powers, someone would have just, like, given him to, like, FBI. Well, I don't know. I guess NIS or something.
Well, yeah, but, like...
Right.
That's kind of what happened, no?
No, I know, but, like he keeps doing things that are out of the ordinary, and no one.
Well,
like,
remember they run away, right? He runs away with the dude with his friend who was a pansy, but
in the end he redeemed himself.
Yeah, like, he didn't like he
or die. He just didn't know what to do. How do you deal with that?
You know, I get it. Yeah. He was just at first he was a pansy, and then he was being like. They were they were gonna kill him anyways. They were gonna try and kill him, and then, like, he was redeeming himself because he actually thought of him as a friend, and then, you know what I mean.
I think he always did. He just didn't really want to be. He didn't want the drama, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. It's I get that, and like, he's not a bad character. Like, he's not a bad person in general. Yeah, he was awesome. And I mean, that was. Like, that's why no one gave him to, like, the NIS and government and stuff like that, because they ran away. They were, like, in hiding. Like, and his friend knew, like, he couldn't, like, have a normal life, right? Especially because he kept, every time he would use his powers, he kept, like, it would kill his memories, right? Until he overloaded.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what they figured out, is, like, they need to overload him, kill all the bad, like, kill all the shitty cells, and then all the new cells that regenerate will be stronger enough and strong enough to handle the
crazy, you know?
Yeah. It's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
So, like, their baby, like, I get it. I get the reasoning behind it. So they shock the baby.
Yeah, so they were going to do what they did to him.
But, like, can the child handle that? Can the child handle as much voltage as he can?
I don't. Well, that was the doctor kept saying, "Oh, she heals faster than you do."
But it doesn't mean she can handle more, though.
Well, that's it, right?
Like, he's built that up over time,
yeah.
So they would really have to, like, build it up over time.
And, like, I get what they were trying to do, but you're absolutely right. Like, I don't think she would have been able to handle it. I think it would have been either they would kill the child or they would all died.
Most likely.
Because it would have been like an overload of her power, and then everybody's dead.
Yeah.
And obviously except for him, because he could probably handle it, but like everybody else is dead.
Glad the baby got away.
Yeah.
Now they just have 1,000 more babies to test on.
That's good. That's why the next season I have like so many ideas, like for like how they can like do the next season, but I'd be curious to see if they actually do a next season, or this is just
the beginning of the end.
Yeah,
there's been so many
like this that like American, like North American and other countries that wouldn't be surprised if because
the
like
ratings
studios,
are good, right?
yeah, exactly. With studios, that's the thing. The studios rely on ratings, right? If it's not good enough, even if it's decent ratings, they probably won't put the money in for the next season, right? Even if the story's not done.
That would suck.
Yeah, that's terrible. It sucks. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. I was thinking about this. Trying to like come up with what to talk about the show because the show is great. I like the show. I love for a long time, and I've talked to you about this character. Like I've been writing a character, been a story around the character that his powers are based on electricity.
Yeah.
Right. Similar to him.
Zio.
Yeah. Similar. Not necessarily the same, but obviously similar because it's electricity, right?
Yeah.
So I was really interested in the show to see this. You know what I mean? And there was a book I read, and I only read the first two books. It's a series of like 7 or 8. It's called the Michael Bay series.
Okay.
By Richard Paul Evans.
Don't you have it here?
Yeah, I have it somewhere here. If you can find it, it's Michael Bay. So that one, it's like a bunch of the kids. So if you think about it, the book can be like the second season because it's a bunch of kids with electrical powers.
Oh, shit.
Their abilities all based around electricity. They're all different.
Ooh.
One of the characters in the book, the girl can actually stop. She can reset your brain with electrical current. Yeah.
Like reset, like
she can shut your brain off.
Oh, okay.
And and like a bunch of different like stuff like that.
Okay.
Another one has.
It's not scary.
No, not at all. But it's nuts. Another of the characters that you meet that the main character meets uses echolocation.
Okay.
Is echolocation, is that what it's called? That the electric eels electric eels. What they do is their electricity runs through the water.
Okay.
And then they see. What they see is the electricity forming whatever they see in front of them.
Oh.
So the currents create that vision for them, like how echolocation works for bats and dolphins, where they see it through a radar system. It's the same thing, but using electricity. It's really cool. So the character is blind, but uses electricity to see everything. So if there's an electrical current, he can see it.
Oh, weird.
Right.
That'd be a cool movie.
Yeah. It'd be amazing. And the main character, I honestly cannot remember, because he can manipulate electricity, if I remember correctly. The most interesting thing about the main character is that the kid had Tourette's, and so it's the kid trying to deal with his Tourette's and these abilities. You know what I mean? I think he's like 14 or 15. The kid.
Oh shit!
Like,
that's fun.
Yeah, right. It's a really cool thing, and like a lot of the schools in the States actually use the first book. I know a few years ago, in the curriculum.
Really?
Yeah. Because it really teaches. It's really educational. The book is really educational, but it's amazing.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
That's surprising, honestly.
Yeah. The author is a great author, so I didn't have any doubts there. But yeah, so this character, like Zio, reminded me of this book and the character I've been writing for
years.
15 years?
Yeah, you can't finish a story.
I've rewritten it like 1,010,000 times.
I can't see this, but I'm shaking my head at him.
I've rewritten it so many times. I even had it when I was in college. Oh, it pissed me off so much. This guy who the way I originally wrote it was comic booky, right? Before comic book movies were a big thing. They were just starting. Okay? They were just starting to really flourish. Yeah. And the student. What are they called? The student guidance, not student guidance counselor, but they're student.
The TA.
I guess not.
Teacher's assistant?
No, he wasn't a teacher. He was just he was helping as like a guidance counselor, but he's a former student kind of thing. So he was from he graduated from the program like a year or two ago, and he can't. And they asked him to like help the students kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like, you know, give.
Was he a star student or something?
I don't know.
Did he move on and flourish in the field?
Don't get me started, huh? So he was a nice guy,
Okay.
really nice guy, but he lived like a writer, and I will not ever I have I have so much respect for writers, but I will not live like that where
like poverty stricken.
Pretty much like you're working, you won't get a job unless it's writing, and like that's one of the hardest things you can do next to like acting and music is trying to get a job as a writer.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a degree, if you don't have the experience, no one's gonna hire you.
So like every other like thing.
Yeah. But like writing is like it's a specific thing, right? So they'll pay you for what you write.
Yeah.
They don't pay you hourly.
Yeah.
So if you're writing for like a website, they're gonna pay you for what you write, not how much time you spent on it.
Yeah.
Right. Or if you write for...
some people make that, you know?
They go up, right? But it's like, they have money to start, and then... But anyways, so... I gave him a synopsis of my story, okay? And he was like, oh, this doesn't make... Like, this is not believable. I'm like...
It's a fucking story. It doesn't have to be
But, like, it's not... The thing is, like, if I was writing, like... fiction, like general fiction based on real life. Okay, okay.
But it's sci-fi,
but it's like sci-fi comic book. Like it doesn't have to make sense. That's the freedom of writing. Well, your shit doesn't need to make sense. Do you know how like? Fuck, Twilight didn't make sense, but it still made. It could have just been like X-Men. Like, yeah. It doesn't necessarily like it's not reality. Like who knows? Maybe people do have these powers and we're just not aware of it yet. But like. Know. But that's it. Yeah. So, anyways. 15 years on this character. And maybe one day he'll finish it. Yeah, one day I will. And I have a few... Okay. He shows up in my book. Okay, hold on. Okay. He shows up in his book. He shows up in my book. But he doesn't want to write a secondary book to that. Okay. It's not that I don't want to write it. His writer's block. It's really hard to write the secondary. I'm trying to kick it out of him. I've been working on it. And I've rewritten the first few chapters quite a few times. And I have a basic idea of what it is. It's supposed to be a trilogy, but anyways, back to the show. Okay. Okay. And that's why that's why I got interested in the show when they first when I first read the synopsis of it. I'm like, yo, this is sick. This is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be like what I want to see, right? And it was great. It turned out really, really well. And it had like there's a certain part of it that really kind of makes you think. So, one aspect of it is that I found interesting is like who we were discussing, who is the real monster? Is it him, the one that's not fully human? Yeah. Or the people trying to who made him, who's doing these experiments, who's trying to find him and trying to kill him, you know? Yeah. And then you have them. And then you have and this is a quote from the Dark Knight trilogy from Batman. Do you die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? And that's where I saw like at the end, okay, where he, instead of leaving, like destroying these people and then leaving with his wife and daughter, and raising her himself, and they could have raised her in private, taught her how to teach. I'm sorry guys, my English is not working. Well, they could have went back to the farm that they were on. They could have rebuilt it, after him blowing it up. Yeah. But like they could have, raised her, and taught her in private, taught her how to control her power so she can go around in public, right? and then you would have been fine. Instead, you took the other route
And
where
became evil.
you're like, well, maybe it is better that there's hundreds of thousands of people like my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But at that point, like, if everybody's like your daughter, what makes your daughter special?
Yeah.
Right? Great. Obviously, it's special to you. But I mean, like you're creating you're becoming God essentially.
Well, that's what they are. They wanted to become deities.
Well, that's what he wanted. Yeah, that's what the doctor wanted.
And
he
like,
wanted, and he's like, oh, when I finish making the news, I'm gonna make another one better, and another one better.
Yo, who's gonna babysit all these babies?
Yo, they better have like. Like the one thing that they needed to figure out is how to ground him, how to stop him from like exploding, right?
Yeah.
Because when these babies are born, who's gonna be the one that's gonna?
They're gonna have like nurses in special uniforms.
Or yeah, like, literally all full rubber and
rubber
like,
boots, rubber gloves.
So
it's nice to have a rubber glove touch a baby.
Yeah, of course, right? And then and then another thing was, he, what was it? It was she was an issue too, though. She was like back and forth, and by the last 3 episodes,
she went crazy.
Yeah.
But like I understand why. She just wanted to.
I get it too, and if she would have got to I feel like if she would have got to him before they kind of convinced him, I think she could have like left with him.
I'm honestly surprised on the last episode how he actually stayed with them. Like, why wouldn't you have? Like, I know obviously she had a fatal shit happen to her, but like, why wouldn't you have taken your wife and gone?
That's another thing. Like, it's like you
could have easily killed all those men and then just walked away, and no one would have been the wiser.
I mean, even if I was him in that situation where I see these guys that were going to find my wife and they're beating the shit out of her, I would have killed them all.
You'd think,
then and
right?
there, I would have they literally would have all died.
Like, that's what I thought. Like,
and then I would have went back. Yeah, and I would have went back and I would have killed the NIS agent that sent them. Because we all know she was the one that told them, yeah, fine, just kill her.
Most likely.
Right.
But then that other guy, the other NIS agent, that was just like, I will never give up. It's like, just die already. Oh my god.
Like.
Honestly, I get.
He was just greedy.
Yeah.
There was so much greed, it was ridiculous.
I kind of get it. Like, if you're working on something, it's something evil. But if you're working on something for 25 years and all of a sudden you're no longer needed, that's like a slap in the face.
I get it. But the entire time, it's like, yo, I need a paycheck before I leave. I need to make money. I need to make money. I need to make money. It's like, dude.
He probably has so much money, too.
Is your life really worth that much money right now? Like, you could die at any moment. Like, all you got kicked out of the organization. This guy's trying to kill you. That guy's trying to kill you. Like, just take your shit and go.
Honestly, they would have let you go clean slate.
And if you really wanted money, you can go do that other shit somewhere else.
Exactly.
With less dangerous beings, you know? I mean...
They needed to start that.
Yeah.
That's fine. He died in the end.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Karma.
Yeah.
Right through the chest.
Mm-hmm. I wonder where that chick hid all the eggs.
Embryos?
The embryos.
That's a mighty fine question, because I don't think they ever found it.
No, they never did, because she died before she could give them to him.
Yeah, and they had no chance to go look for it.
Now, the issue is the only two people that really know would be the doctor, and that's if he even cares anymore.
Well, he doesn't care anymore, because he got Zio.
Wait, how many... Where'd they get all the egg? I guess from the people.
Yeah, because remember he's like, I just need their eggs, and so she's like, fine, we can use them. They're gonna be sad, and it's like he's like, I just want the eggs. So that's where all the eggs came from.
They could have just given the babies to them, and let them raise them. And then be like, come once a week to get experimented on, you know?
They'll come once a week. They're gonna like 2 seconds in, they're gonna get shocked to death.
That's fine.
That doesn't make any
Whatever. Anyways.
I
like the show.
No, it's a great show. It's a great show. It just makes you think, like,
why can't I have electrical powers?
Oh, fuck, that'd be sick. Oh, when he started learning, oh my god, that was amazing.
When he finally was able to control. Doesn't that kind of show you, though, like, stop avoiding the powers that you have and just, like, go into it? And then you'll be able to friggin' control or actually understand why or
yeah,
what.
I don't think he had, like, the chance to be, like, to sit and think about it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that break, mm-hmm. you know, when they had the baby, he kind of just settled down and started to, like, really, Before, he was just on the run and always mm-hmm. just fucking moving.
Yeah.
And then forgetting, right? Mm-hmm. Every time you use it, you forget.
Yeah.
But man, there was something else I was gonna talk about. Yeah, I can't.
Brain fart.
I just can't remember. I should have wrote it down, but I wrote no notes down for this one.
That's horrendous.
I know, right?
How dare you?
Anyways, great cast. Mm-hmm. Great show. I was just like, yeah.
You kidding?
Yeah. I'm just like thinking. I'm like thinking as I go. It's not good because like.
A lot of quiet moments.
Yeah. But today for what's poppin', right? Is gonna be the theme of the show, which was fan-friggin-tastic. Mm-hmm. That song is so good, and it makes sense for the show. Mm-hmm. By the way, it is all sung in English, mm-hmm. so you don't have to worry about getting any translations for the lyrics. It's all sung in English by the song is called L.U.C.A, mm-hmm. and it's by Gemma, who apparently is a South Korean singer, but I have no info. Cannot find info on her. The only reason why I know she's South Korean is like comments online.
Oh wow!
It's not even like legit proof. Like they could just like these users can be lying. You know what I mean? Like talking out of their ass. Because like the pronunciation is like well done, so she could be like.
Maybe she's like Canadian or American.
Yeah, or like maybe she's just good at languages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But her voice is very different than most.
It's very husky.
Kardak, don't do it. It's very husky and it's deeper.
Yeah,
right?
I like it.
It's stronger.
Yeah. And
that's why I'm not convinced. Like I know most Korean. No, singers,
look at Jessie though. Her voice is like.
That's true.
Her voice is she was
deeper, but she's like half rapper too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like her though. I like Gemma.
Yeah,
I'd like to see more from her.
I only know that she only had, and from what I found, anyways. Mm-hmm. Yo, if anybody knows, send it over this way, please. Mm-hmm. Is an OST for another show.
Okay, maybe she just does. Maybe she's like a
hook
creator.
A hook creator.
You know people that make jingles?
Yeah. But like for just like a hook is like.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. I meant like a song creator. Maybe she's just. Maybe you'll see more of her on these.
That's probably what it is, but
songs.
I mean, I got nothing.
Maybe she doesn't want to be found, okay,
It's quite possible. It honestly quite possible because some of these OST singers, you don't see their faces.
It's like me, I don't want to be seen either.
Anyways, the song really, it really matches the show.
It's very powerful.
Very powerful, and it really it's like if you watch the show and then you listen to the song and you like actually listen to the lyrics, you'll really see it's like the song's about his kind of journey.
Yeah.
Right? Where he just keeps going and he's looking for something, and her journey too. You know what I mean? They're looking for something. Mm-hmm. They didn't stop. They wouldn't. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to stop. They didn't want to give up. They wanted to keep going. Whatever. So, the lyrics really match the show very well. Mm-hmm. The beat is
sick.
So sick. That, oh my god! Like I think I'm trying to get Sumo to do a remix. So hopefully, he didn't answer me, but hopefully he'll do it. Maybe I'll be on it too. We'll see. It's a sick beat. I love that beat. Like it's
Threat in the house.
It's I was like just listening to the beat. It's so. It's strong. Mm-hmm. But like it starts off like it comes in slowly. Mm-hmm. It's not like a heavy like it comes in. It's not like a build up. It just comes in slowly and then it comes in real. Once it's in, it's strong. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Once it's there, it's known. You know.
And like I feel like the colors of the show are blue.
Yeah,
dark blue,
and gray.
white, and gray.
Yeah.
And like that's what I hear on the song, like from the beat. Mm-hmm. That's like the color I see. Like the electricity really matches the song. Like that's how I see the beat too, right? Like, yeah, it's sick. I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Yeah. I think that's it for today, yo.
Woot.
I'm like.
Looks like you're like brain dead. Well, okay, sorry, not that dead, but like brain tired.
Yeah. All that friggin' work was a lot of data entry or databasing.
Tedious work.
Well, friggin' tedious. What she wanted was kind of annoying. But I mean, like, I get why, because it made things more systematic. Mm-hmm. She had to present it to like the big boss tomorrow.
That's fun.
Well, like some of the parts like I couldn't do because I don't do HR. Yeah. And it's like summarize like what the request is. Like I don't know how you want me to summarize the request.
Wouldn't that be her though? That would do that.
Well, hopefully my colleague, I'm pretty sure I told her to look over it to make sure like it's okay. Like I did like really quick like request for this, request for that. Whereas like, cause like the comments, it's like, every part of the request, like from start to finish. So it just wants like a summary, which makes sense because the big boss doesn't like reading stuff. Oh. Not okay. So okay, let me rephrase that.
He likes to be able to read it quickly.
Yeah, like a lot of the big bosses because they're so busy. Yeah. Right, and like they need things like they have so much on their plate that like they don't want like a spreadsheet that's like 1,000 lines, right? Like okay, if it's 1,000 lines, that's fine. But he wants to be able to look at it on one screen and be able to see, okay, what am I looking at? Okay, perfect, next, perfect, next. And like I get that because like man, this guy works day to night, and like he's done that. Like I remember talking to one of my bosses, and she's like, yeah, he goes from work, he leaves after we do, and then he goes home and he does more work. So it's like, man, I would never want to be that type. Like, I would never want to be that high up.
No thanks.
If it's not my own company, there's no way. And he's like a very systematic type of person. He was in the military, so he's very like, so he wants it a certain way. Yeah. And that's why like the way she did it, and I was just doing the data entry, but the way she had the spreadsheet and shit was good. It was really nice. It was really like straightforward. So it was something that I think he would actually enjoy, like looking at. So yeah, that's why like I'm kind of like. Staring at the screen of that here and swap, alt tab, That was the last few days of work, so that's what
But he did it.
Yeah.
Finished it. But anyways, thanks guys
that's it for
for listening to us read.
Thanks.
We love you.
We'll see you again soon.
Happy birthday to all our March babies.
Happy birthday.
We love yous.
We will get that content going soon as we figure shit out. Soon.
Okay.
Peace.
Love you.